What is up, you guys? I am so excited to begin covering my favorite show. Transit Love is one of my favorite shows of all time. And this cast, I just finished watching the first episode and I'm pretty impressed by them. I feel like the personalities that we were given are really nice. So I cannot wait to get into it with you guys. I'm ready to just have discussions and figure out who is whose ex. Because I was trying to figure out the exes as of right now, and it's really hard. Of course, it's just one episode, but let's stop all this yapping and get right into the first episode. Okay, so since this season has just begun and I don't have an absolute favorite at the moment, and I don't have an MVP of the episode, I usually put the MVP of the episode as my icon, but I don't have an MVP because no one really gave anything as of yet. So I have Hongyu here, the king of exchange. But with that, let's just get right to the episode. So the episode starts off with like a montage, basically everyone explaining like their ordeal with their exes. And the budget is there for this season. I was really impressed and I loved it. Okay, so first line of business, we get into seeing how much each person misses their ex. They did this last season as well. They did it with strings. This time they did it with a percentage. So they each scroll down whether they like their ex or like if they have the will to get back with their ex, should I say. So if they left like a small percentage, they don't want to get back with them. If they left a big percentage, they do want to get back with them. So I'm going to go ahead and insert that picture now so you guys can see. So these are the percentages that we've got, and I'm actually really satisfied. I like that no one is like full throttle trying to get back with their ex. I do see 3 that look pretty heavy. It looks like 3 would like to get back with their exes, and that's okay because the other ones don't really show that they want to get back with their ex. I just rather something evolved. I rather them get back together and it be a story than like 2 people just kind of get back together. I feel like that was the problem with last season. And with that, we get right into the house and we get our first contestant. Our first contestant is Baekhyun. And my first impression of him is that he's very chillax. Like, he just was like going with the flow. He doesn't seem like the type to be very flashy and all. He's very good looking and tall. He has very strong features. I feel like it's possible that he could be popular with the ladies. But as he's very like nonchalant, I'm not sure if that would resonate with the women. But I can't wait to see what he gives. Then we get our first lady contestant. We get Yoonyeon. And she reminds me of Naeun from season 2. And Naeun is one of my favorite contestants of all Korean dating reality shows ever. So I can't wait to see more of her personality. She's very bubbly. She seems very cheerful. And I feel like she will be popular with the guys. I feel like even if she isn't someone's first impression pick, I do feel like later on she can start to get into everyone's hearts. Up next, we are introduced to Woojin, and he seems like a typical guy. When he walked in, he seemed to have scratched his finger or hand and needed a band-aid. So I think he could be like that, like clumsy guy. So I feel like that can appeal to the ladies. And I can't wait to see him in action. In personal rankings, he's like right in the middle because he doesn't seem like he'll be such a big character. But I can't wait to see how he acts when he is in love or like someone. Next lady to enter the house is Minhyung, and the only thing I really remember about her entrance is her dress. She didn't really stick out much to me when she came into the house. She is really pretty and all. I feel like she could be popular with the guys. She has such like a cute, innocent face. She seems very friendly. But what stuck out to me is when she walked in, Baekhyun, he like grabbed his chest. And I'm like, what's with that? Like, I'm trying to assess who is whose ex. But I don't know, like that's just something that stuck out to me. Ji-young enters the house next, and what stuck out to me the most was when she introduced herself. She is an extrovert, and I would have never guessed that. So I can't wait to see, I guess, the E come out in her, the extroverted side. The next person to enter was Wonkyou, and he walked in a bit confused. He didn't know how to get into the house. I found that kind of funny. But yeah, like he has very cold facial features. He seems like someone who's a bit more reserved. So just like Woojin, I'm interested to see how he acts when he is in love or when he is interested in someone. The next person to enter is Ji Hyung, and she is such a catch. Like, her looks alone scream very classy, but her personality is very cheerful and sweet. So I feel like she will be the most popular lady among all of the men. And I feel like she's probably my favorite girl as of far. She's very cute and all. And yeah, I can't see her in action. I feel like she will give us good TV moments. And our last contestant is Yusik. And he walked in very confidently. Like, his strut was full of confidence. And he just walked in very chill. Like, one thing that I did note when he came in, when he went to go take a seat, he sat next to Ji Young, and she had her purse in the way. But when she moved her purse, she looked so mad. So I don't know, like, I'm getting X energy from now, cause I just feel like Ji Young cannot hide her facial expressions. I'm gonna get into it because later in the episode, there's like something else that happens to where I think that they're exes still even now. But yeah, that stuck out to me. After the introductions, we get the house tour, and this house is really nice. This is the nicest house out of all 4 seasons. They definitely stepped it up. I feel like they're going to keep stepping it up each season. I do like this house. Like, the bedrooms are way bigger than what the contestants have ever had. But with that, we do get into the roommates. And here I have the roommates already listed out for you guys. So everyone on top is upstairs and everyone below is downstairs. So we shall see what these connections give, because the two that I believe are exes are both downstairs with each other. Yusik and Ji Young, the 2 people that I've picked out so far that I believe will be exes. After everyone is situated in their rooms, they then begin to make dinner for the night. Woojin and Baekhyun began dinner, and then Minhyung, she then came in the kitchen, and her and Baekhyun seemed to have some sort of exchange. There was some interest there, so that's something that I wanted to point out. It looks like Minhyung and Baekhyun have a little something going on so far. So they finished preparing dinner, and then the women do the classic spread apart, like where they all sit in like every other seat at the dinner table so the guys can sit between a woman. And from this exchange, Yusik, he seemed to like notice what they were doing, and Ji Hyung, she was like, pick a seat, and he chose the seat next to Ji Young, who I believe is his ex. I feel like I'm saying both their names very similar, because we have 2 Ji Youngs. I'm gonna have to think of a way to where it doesn't like I'm talking about one and the other. I'll get back with that, of course. But yeah, I think he sat next to Ji Young without pondering about it. So I believe Yusik is, like, I just think it's a done deal between them 2. I feel like there's just too many signs. If they aren't exes, I'm gonna be kind of gagged. And then Baekhyun, he sat right across from Minhyuk, so that fire is starting to spread, I guess, between those 2. In the middle of their dinner, the doorbell went off, and Yusik went to go grab the letter. And something that I noticed that, I don't think that is like serious at all, but he went out there with his indoor slippers. And I know like Koreans, like they make sure to like separate the outside world from the inside world. So that's why they have like slippers to walk around in their house. So I feel like he's probably foreign. I feel like he probably studied abroad or something. I don't know. Like, I feel like it's such like a weird thing for me to say. But that's something that I noticed, because like later on, I think Woosik went out and he made sure to put on like some tennis shoes instead of going out there with the house slippers on. But Yusik, let's go grab the letter, and then inside the envelope was a letter to each person from their ex. It's something that they do every season. It helps people get to know someone's character from their ex and how they are in relationships. So let's just get right into these letters. First person to read their letter was Minhyuk, and in her letter, her ex described her as passionate, dependable, and very empathetic. And I personally feel like it didn't really seem like the ex had any lingering feelings. I just feel like her ex was just giving like a good letter. I honestly feel like this letter was hard to read between the lines, so I really don't know whether her ex still has feelings for her or not. Next up was upstairs, Ji Hyung, and in her letter from her ex, it seemed like a farewell to me. It seemed like he's very like reminiscent on their relationship. He even added that he hopes that she meets someone there. So I feel like her ex is kind of over it, and I feel like it could be mutual because she seems very cheerful and So if she's hung up on her ex, I'll actually be kind of surprised. But I'm gonna give my thoughts on who I think her ex is at the end, along with everyone else, and I'll just get in more into that then. Next up, we get into Yusuk's letter, and his letter gave farewell to me. Basically, his ex wrote that he was someone that she wanted to resemble, so she wrote that he was very dependable and that a lot of people relied on him a lot. So personally, I feel like he might have been like the boyfriend that helped shaped her as a person, with like someone who was more like a learning experience. His letter ended off with his ex saying, I hope that he finds someone that he can rely on. So yeah, for sure it's a farewell, and I'm really curious to know what happened between him and his ex. I do feel like his ex is young. I keep saying this, I'm like locking it in, but yeah, I'm like the most curious about his ex at this point. Like, I hope they reveal his ex first. Up next, we get Yoon Young's letter, and her ex basically described her as cheerful. It seemed like she was very cheerful and he wasn't. So that is kind of a clue there. So I feel like her ex is someone who's probably very introverted because she is an extrovert herself. So I feel like they probably had some problems with that. And I didn't really catch any lingering feelings. It seemed like there was a bit of regret in the letter. I kind of feel like her ex probably wished that he was there for her more or so. So I feel like they didn't break up in the most healthy way. But yeah, that's what I get from her letter. Next up is Wonkyu's letter, and his ex basically explained him to be very chill, and she said that it was hard to break down barriers with him. When she first approached him, it seemed like he was hard to like break down, I guess. But then once she was able to break down that barrier, he ended up being a very sweet person. She said that he was like a cat more than anything. So his ex, I feel like it's like an actual letter to like let people know what's up. So I feel like his ex might not really have feelings for him. I feel like it's more of like a friendship thing. I feel like they probably talked, had a conversation, and I think they might be on good terms now. Next up is Downstairs Ji Young's letter, and this letter was full of regret. So her ex described her as pure and a great person, and basically he said that if she was to meet someone, hopefully it's someone that wouldn't make her wait. So I guess with her ex, something must have happened to where they couldn't meet each other, or just some type of like disagreement happened. So there's a lot of yearning in here. So her ex, I can say, wants to get back with her 100%. Well, I'm not gonna do 100. Let's say like 80, I guess. But yeah, that's what I got from her letter. Next up, we get into Woojin's letter, and basically his ex described him as, with his exterior, he seems to be like a cold person, but he's actually very sweet. And she described her relationship with him to be the happiest she has ever been. She said it was the happiest relationship that she has ever had. So, it's hard to read this one as well. I don't know whether his ex has any lingering feelings as much, because this letter, it kind of gave like, enjoy, I hope you meet someone, but then it kind of also gave like there might still be some interest there. At the end, she did say that she want him to make good memories there, but that can also mean good memories with her. So yeah, I'm actually really curious to know who his ex is and what exactly his letter meant. Okay, so after everyone got their letters, they all went upstairs to go put their letters up and all, and a few people came downstairs to just clean up the mess from after dinner. So Won Q comes downstairs and starts washing dishes, and then Min Kyung comes downstairs, and she was like, "Hey, I want to wash these dishes." So she grabbed on his shirt. I don't think like anything should be read into too much right there. I just feel like she like generally just wanted to like wash dishes, and she probably felt bad. But yeah, disregard that. And then downstairs, Ji Young, she and Won Q end up being side by side. Won Q is washing dishes and she really wants to help, and they kind of had like a little like pity pat there, like a little moment, and then out of nowhere, Yusik pops up and like swipe dishes out of both of their hands. That's why I feel like his ex is downstairs Ji Young, because he just was like, oh no, like we don't got no time for it. Like he was trying to break that up. You hear me? And you know what? I respect him for that. I like that he came and like he knew that he wanted to get back with her, and he's like trying to put a stop to it. So that was a pretty funny moment to me, and I'm glad that they're giving us drama on the very first episode. So after that whole moment, the doorbell rings again, and they get another letter. And this letter, it basically says that the women have 30 minutes to grab the guy of their choice secretly and ask them for a date. So right off the bat, I don't usually like the women have to choose first. I kind of wish that it was the guys choosing a woman, but I guess it doesn't matter. But we didn't really get to see much of this. They all closed their eyes, and Min Kyung went up first, and then she chose Bae Kyung, and then the episode ends like that. Overall, I found this to be a very interesting first episode. I liked it. Like, I actually was interested from beginning to end. There was no like flop moment, so I am satisfied here. But let's get into who I think is who's ex right off the bat. So this is my ex prediction from the first episode. I think that Yusik and downstairs Ji Young is our exes. I think Bae Kyung's ex is not in yet. He's just seemed way too nonchalant. And in his letter, he basically said that his ex made him want to be a husband. Like, he was ready to settle down with her. And if she was there, I feel like he would have, like, been kind of shooken up. So the fact that all that was in the letter and he just was kind of chill, I'm like, his ex isn't here. I think that Won Q and Yoon Young are exes because in his letter, his ex said that she was cheerful and he was nonchalant. That's both of them to a T. Min Kyung and Woo Jin, I believe that they're exes as well. And then Ji Young, I think her ex is not in yet. I think her ex is coming in later. So I'm gonna lock that in. These are my ex predictions for episode number 1. So with that, episode number 1 is a wrap. As I said, I enjoyed this episode. I'm about to get right into episode 2 after this. I was debating whether to combine both episodes, but I feel like a lot happened on this episode. So I wanted to just make it its own video. But yeah, make sure you guys subscribe and lock in, because y'all, like, we need to be in the comments trying to figure out who is who's ex and just get the tea for real. But with that, I'll see you guys later.